We out here. What's up, boys? I got spat everywhere. Let me do my story real quick. Let's see who's first. I am live right now ranking every MLS stadium that I have been to. It is sure to get controversial. Y'all will want to get into this discussion. Oops, I messed up. Hey, what's up, Rebel Fan 47? Hey, what's up, Juan? Wait, I gotta do my story. I am live on YouTube right now ranking every single MLS stadium that I've been to. It will be controversial, so you will want to be in on the discussion. Tap the link right now. Damn, I killed that one. What's up, boys? What's up? How we doing on this fine day? How we doing, boys? Boys, girls, they, thems, everyone. Live on YouTube, ranking every stadium I've been to. Brochet, what's up? What about Brochet, the GOAT? He is goated. Yes, sir. That's why he is the GOAT tier. I'll explain all that in just a second. Let me just post the link. Once I post the link up on IG, we will start talking about what today's tier list will actually be. But it's going to go crazy. It's going to go crazy, boys. All right, so let me explain how today will work as that story uploads. So, there are 30 MLS stadiums. I have been to 20 of them as of December 2024. So in today's tier list, I will only be ranking the 20 that I have been to, because I could actually give a real opinion on those rather than, oh, I've watched them on TV or something like that. You know, when it's stadiums I've been to, I could, give a fair assessment. I could rank them based on how they look on TV, how they look on how they are in person, or versus how they are in person. I could rank them based on the food that's in the stadium. That's very important to me. The atmosphere, the vibes, and the uniqueness. And I think the uniqueness is actually the most important factor here, because there's a lot of nice stadiums in MLS, but some of the nicest ones aren't the most unique. And we'll dive into that in a bit. So will I be planning to visit Snapdragon Stadium in San Diego? Yes, but I actually have already been to Snapdragon Stadium because I went to the NWSL final a couple years ago. So I have decided to put Snapdragon on the tier list. And I know you guys are going to say, oh, that's not fair. That's not fair, man. Like San Diego hasn't played yet, but I think I saw enough. I think I saw enough to properly rate it. And that's all I'll say when we get there. As always, on my tier list, we have our own created tiers. And, Dom Badgie last time got a lot of hate. Or I got a lot of hate for saying Dom Badgie tier. But it's not anything against Dom Badgie. All of these tiers, or a lot of these tiers, except for Breck Shea, are a play on words. Children's Mercy Park, sadly, I've not been there, so I cannot rank it. Dallas, I haven't been to a Dallas match. But they are all based on wordplay. Except for Breck Shea, who's the GOAT. So if you're in Breck Shea tier, you're GOAted. But Lee Win. It's a win. That stadium is a win. It goes up there. Gadi Kinda. Instead of Gadi Kinda, I'm looking at Gadi Kinda. Like, it's kind of good. It's kind of bad. It's like middle of the road. Mixed Discarud. I have mixed feelings about it. Usually negative. And then Dom Badgie, because it's bad. Not because Dom Badgie is bad, but because it's in the name. That's all. Respect to Dom Badgie, MLS journeyman. But why not we get started? We have enough viewers to get started here. And we're actually starting with a good one, Austin. And I could, if you want, and let me know in the comments, I could show you videos from my phone of my Austin experience. You could also look at the videos that I posted back when I visited those places. And with every stadium, I'll tell you why I was there, what I was there for, and how I enjoyed it. So Austin FC, the first one, and that's a good one to start with. And it's a part of a crop of new stadiums that are actually all built by the same architecture company. So a lot of the newer stadiums, like Austin and a couple that I'll talk about, are built by the same people. So they have a lot of similarities. But let's give you guys a better view. Oh, now you guys see my thumbnails. Q2 Stadium. This is what it looks like. This is the photo I used. And immediately, it's a super nice stadium. I love the green. It was really cool. It was loud. I think the clubs were some of the better clubs that I've been to in a stadium because I got full access, so I got to go in and out. The supporter section was really cool. It was very big. It wasn't as full as I would like it to be. I did see Jimmy Maurer go to Houston. I mean, that is what it is. A lot of the Texas players are kind of just filtering themselves in and out. But with Austin, man, I genuinely love the stadium. I love the experience. I joined the support. I was in the back of the supporter section for a while because I wanted to just check it out, hear the noise. Great roofs above the supporter section, soundproof, which is really good. What's up, Sean? So I think we're starting off strong here, and we're starting off strong here. I'm gonna give it a Lee win tier. I don't know if it's goated. I think only a couple stadiums I'm going to put in GOATed, but it's definitely a top tier MLS stadium. I think Austin did a terrific job with it. If you have any questions about any of the stadiums, the food. Well, no one asked that except for myself, but because I'm a fattest. But anyways, hey, what's up, Sean? Yeah, first stream. I am here. What's up, Messy Goat? So with the food at Austin FC Stadium, it was very impressive. It was impressive because when you have a stadium, I want especially MLS where they're trying to really dive into the community, and this will be a common theme. I really like when they have local favorites at the match, and they had Terry Black's barbecue, a version of it. Obviously, you can't have the real thing at the stadium. That's cool. They had that chicken chain, Pluckers, I think is what it's called. I didn't try it, but that gave me good vibes for Austin. But anyways, Chicago. Soldier Field is ass. But I gotta give them the benefit of the doubt here. You know, they're playing in an NFL stadium. They do not fill it up great, although it did improve here. I was there in 2022 for my 3 matches in 24 hours, so I didn't get to fully explore the entire stadium, and I feel bad for rating it low because of that. Check out that video, by the way, if you haven't. It's probably the best thing I've ever done. But Chicago, it was an interesting match. First of all, John Duran actually scored, I believe, in that match, but then Cucho Hernandez scored his first goal for Columbus. But all that aside, and this is the problem with NFL stadiums, is they don't bring anything good to the table or new or fresh when it comes to MLS. So I don't think none of the NFL stadiums that are on this list are going to go in the Breck Shea or Lee Win tier. That's a fact. But in terms of these 3 tiers, sorry. I ain't gonna lie. I think Chicago's Dom Badgie for me. I hate to say it, but I think Chicago is Dom Badgie with me. Grim Reaper. Be happy I'm not fat. Yes. But no, I feel bad because I have a lot of sympathy for the Chicago Fire fan base. I feel bad for them, and I feel their pain, even though my pain's over MLS-wise, but I want this fan base to have something good, and they don't have it. So, Chicago, I'm sorry, Dom Badgie. I've been to SeatGeek Park before, whatever it was called, whatever their prior stadium was. Terrible drive. Cool stadium of the time. But that was in like 2016. But TQL Stadium, FC Cincinnati. Speaking of local favorites, man, what y'all know about the Sky Rosa? What y'all know about the Sky Rosa? I gotta pull up the photos for this one. Obviously, there's 2 very famous food joints up in Cincinnati. You have your Skyline Chili, and you have Come on, where's the favorites folder? God, I hate the new iOS. The new iOS is... I'm not a fan. Let's see. Here we go. Where's St. Louis? What y'all know about the Sky Rosa, man? So the Sky Rosa essentially is... Bro, I'm not hating on Chicago. It's not my fault Soldier Field sucks, man. I love Chicago. I love the Chicago Fire fans, man. It's not my fault that y'all stadium's ass. Did I see the MLS Cup final? Of course, man. I was there, Rosa. You're all good, Pope. You missed Austin and Chicago. The Sky Rosa, you take a hot dog from Skyline Chili, and then you take a pizza slice from La Rosa's. You wrap it up, and you try to eat it. And this is a screenshot of me doing it. So that was awesome. It was terrible, but awesome and amazing and goated, and it tasted great, but also the worst thing ever to my stomach. As for the stadium itself, pretty nice stadium. I must admit, it was a good stadium. I enjoyed it a lot. I think the supporters were pretty cool. They really filled out the Bailey, and I don't know why this is a factor for me, but if you're filling up the supporter section, that's going to help your cause in this tier list. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. Cincinnati Stadium, I think it's on par with Austin. I think it's slightly worse. Slightly, but it's definitely not better. I know that's obvious there, but I think it still goes in the Lee Win tier. If you have any questions about it, let me know. Yep, Fire getting a new stadium downtown. That's amazing now, but that doesn't matter right now. No, I have been to SeatGeek Stadium. I was there, but we're not ranking that. We're ranking current stadiums. You feel the Fire should have stayed in SeatGeek? I agree, however, to an extent, because it was so far away from Chicago. I Ubered out there, and that drive was awful. I was staying in downtown Chicago, so they need a stadium in Chicago proper. Bridgeview ain't it. Wasn't a nice place. Columbus. Another stadium that's on par with Cincinnati and Austin. I've been there 4 times. Lower.com Field. I was at their home opener, their first ever one. It was against the Revs, and Tajon Buchanan scored the first goal. Then I was at MLS Cup last year, which was epic. Seeing LAFC lose was pretty cool. And then I was there for the All-Star game on the field, so I got to see more of the insides. Great club area. That was a good club. And then I was there for the League's Cup final to also see LAFC lose again. That was awesome. Where do I rate it amongst the best, though? I do think it is in the Lee Win tier, but I also think it is the third best in this tier so far. And the reason why I say that is, if you look at the seats, Austin, it's all green. It's beautiful. All green. Austin green. Cincinnati, you have the logo. There's also the lion logo in the seats. The Columbus seats are too boring for me. There's little patterns with gray and darker gray, but it doesn't have the color. It's a little bland on the inside. The exterior might be the most beautiful one out of all these new stadiums. Actually, TQL's exterior is amazing. I haven't talked about the exterior of Chicago. Well, I don't need to talk about that one. But Columbus, for me, it's a little dry. A little dry. It needs a little more spice. And, one could say, the Nordeca needs a little more spice. I think they're a great supporters group. And they filled up their stadium well. Their supporters were really awesome to me. I love the Columbus Crew supporters. But yeah, I think these three are on par with each other. But I am going to rank them in their tiers. Charlotte FC. It's not Dom Badgie. I mean, speaking of color, the whole seats are, the Charlotte pink, or not pink. Oh my God, am I colorblind? But no, the Charlotte blue. Obviously, that's because of the Panthers. And obviously, it's the same owner as the Panthers, so they're going to play in the Panther Stadium. I get it. You don't want to build a new stadium. When they fill it out, it's great. I feel really bad for their supporters because their supporters be bumping. I think the Charlotte FC supporters are some of the best in the league. And it's unfortunate that they don't have a proper supporter section. They're just in NFL seats. And that bothers me a lot. I think that's a problem. But anyways, food-wise. Sorry, food. Obviously, food's most important. I have Bojangles. However, it was just the tendies. And for that, you're just mixed screwed, man. I want the pieces. Bojangles is a goated establishment. It's probably my favorite fast food place, although I don't really eat fast food anymore. Bojangles. I love Bojangles. And I get it. It's stadium food. You can't have the real menu, but they don't have any pieces, man. No bone-in. I'm a bone-in type of guy. I'm a bone type of guy. So it was not my favorite Bojangles out there. I was there actually, sorry, because I'm mentioning when I've been to these stadiums. I was there for their first ever home match against the Galaxy. It's my only ever Galaxy away experience. However, I didn't do the Galaxy away. It just happened to be against the Galaxy. That was one of my first body armor trips, and they sent me down for Charlotte's first match, not because it was the Galaxy. Just very fortunately was the Galaxy, and Efra scored an absolute banger. Atmosphere was cool. Obviously, I saw it very full, so that was great. I know they don't fill up the top bowl every match, but good vibes. I don't think it's a total S-hole, which is why it's not Dom Badgie, but it's not great. I don't think it deserves Kinda either. DC United. Sorry, we're gonna put these last. Sorry, I'm looking ahead. We're gonna put the LAs last. DC United, Audi Field. I was there twice. I went to Audi Field for a trip with my now ex, but that was cool. It was cool vibes. It was also against Columbus. And then I was there for the All-Star game that same year. No, I was there. When was I there? Well, I was there for the All-Star game. Yeah, 2023. Yeah, I was there twice in 2023. I'll be honest, guys. I'm not loving DC. By the way, I forgot to, show you guys these stadiums more. It's confusing. The layout is confusing. The shape is a little weird. I was in these club seats, but they were on the second floor. It's just a confusing. I mean, just look at. It looks shaped weird, right? It's super steep. Food-wise, I think there were some food trucks. The club area was pretty cool for All-Star. I didn't love Audi Stadium. If I'm being honest, not my favorite. At least they have the flavor. But it's also DC United. So do we want the flavors that DC United bring? What's up, Tony? Bathroom cleanliness is important. I agree. Audi's definitely got a Kinda. Yeah, I agree. But it's borderline mix. Sorry if I start coughing. I've had a bit of a fog in my throat. Pause. Ever since MLS Cup, and I know some other G's have felt the same way. But we're gaming the next 2 days, so this is the only talk stream of the week. Chase Field or Chase Stadium. Get your ass in, dumb bitch. Nah, it's mixed for now. We'll talk about it. Chase Stadium is a fake stadium. It doesn't even exist. It's a pigment of my imagination. Literally. I mean, it is a makeshift stadium. They made it out of nothing. And it's weird when you're standing on it. It's all metal. It's like your high school bleachers, a glorified high school bleacher, which is crazy. At least it's got the flavor of the pink and black. I like it. But when you're walking up the stairs, goddamn, that's a terrible photo. Let's see. I guess this is the supporter section. So I was up here on the right. When you walk up it, you feel like the stadium can collapse. And it's a collapsible stadium. That's the point of it. But just thank God. Thank God. Actually, wait. I don't know if you could see it totally on the far right here. No, you can't go all the way right here. Oops. Jesus, what am I doing? If you look at the left here, the left, you could see the metal areas here. You could see how it's, it's built to just go like blah, 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 blah. I don't know if that made sense. Food-wise, I was in the club. The food was cool. Just thank God they're getting a new stadium. Pope. Would you be okay with me moving DC down? I think of the newer stadiums, as in stadiums built within like the last 10 years, it's the worst one. I don't know. What do you guys think? Miami, I'll move down. But DC, I'm also going to move down. I know where we'll fill these up. We will fill these up. That's not a worry here. That's not a worry. Minnesota. So I was only there for an MLS All-Star game in 2022. So I didn't get to see, the Minnesota United fans in full force. I was also in the club. And, don't get me banned, but snuck down to the field as if I were press. That was fun. But it was great because I got to hang out with, players that I know and all of that, people I know. I went with someone who had press and I walked with him down as like this person's cameraman, and it was great. Before I, would get credentials accepted. They used to always get denied. Minnesota. So I didn't get to fully look at it. Check it out. I think Allianz Field, when I say it brings flavor, Allianz Field has the flavor that Lower.com Field doesn't. It looks like first of all, god damn, that's a beautiful exterior. But it really matters what's on the inside, man. You got the NYCFC laid down across the seats, the beautiful blue seats. And then in the supporter section, you got the Loon Bird. I think that's great. I wish I knew a bit more about the food scene. But Minnesota here, eventually, we might have to, but I'm not going to do that yet. Nashville. Another one of the stadiums that are top tier for me. And they're all kind of the same because they're all of these Lee Win tiers pretty much. I don't know if Minnesota's part of it, but Columbus, Cincinnati, Austin, and Nashville were all made by the same architecture company. So they all have very similar designs, which is, I kind of don't love the fact that they have similar designs, but Nashville for me is the best one out of those. Well, there's going to be 2 stadiums that I put in Breck Shea tier, or 3. There's going to be 3 stadiums that go into Breck Shea tier. Nashville's one of them for me. Prince's Fried Chicken is goated. And this stadium with the seat colors, Geodis Park is what we're talking about. And I was there a couple times. I'll talk about that in a sec. You got beautiful seat coloring. It gives me Nashville vibes. I know the supporter section is barren color-wise, but that doesn't matter as much as you can see here. When I first walked into Geodis Park, so first I went on an embargo mission when they flew me out to interview their first homegrown signing. Shout out Adam Sipich. And then no Colorado. I haven't been to Colorado. I'm sorry. Sorry, just checking out the chat. I do have Snapdragon on the list, actually. What's up, Ben? And I will be talking about our experience there, but I do have thoughts. But I'm saving the LA ones for last, because those are the ones everyone wants to hear about. What was I talking about? Nashville. Great vibes. I had a great experience. My one gripe with Geodis Park is leaving the stadium is almost bad enough to put it in Don Badgie. But I won't, because I'm just ranking the stadium based on the stadium. Not necessarily traveling to and from the stadium. But my God, is leaving Geodis Park a nightmare. There's an Uber pickup spot that doesn't even allow Ubers to get to it. You have to walk a mile outside of the stadium in the middle of nowhere to get your Uber. So that's my gripe with Nashville. And it's up like a mountain. I mean, I don't care about walking upstairs. I think, it's good. Gotta get my steps in or whatever. But you gotta walk up a hefty flight of stairs just to get to the stadium. All aside, I think Geodis Park is phenomenal. Next, you already know where this one's going. NYCFC. I went to a very entertaining match there, and I got to sit on the field, which is great. I think I would have hated sitting in the stands at Yankee Stadium. By far the worst stadium in MLS. No one needs to debate this one. I think it's cool that the supporters at NYC fill up their outfield section, but I can't wait for them to actually have a supporter section. Is it charming that, we're America, we're playing in a baseball stadium? Maybe. Do I love the memes? Of course I do. But that shit's ass! Terrible stadium. Not a terrible stadium, though. Red Bull Arena. And someone, Rebel Fan 47 earlier mentioned. Rebel Fan 47 mentioned the lemonade. And I gotta be honest with y'all. That lemonade saved my life. At Red Bull Arena, man. I went to Red Bull Arena for the Hudson River Derby in 2022 with Tati Castellanos scoring right before, or he scored at the end of the match. Or not at the end of the match, but it was the lone goal. It was one of his last goals before leaving. He's awesome. I like Tati. I hated on him for a while for no reason. I thought he was overrated, but nope, he proved me wrong. He scored. But that day, man, I had come from a brunch where I had... Oh, Sports Illustrated Stadium. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, SQ. You're right. Sports Illustrated Stadium. Anywho, I wonder if they're going to get rid of the Red Bulls. But Red Bull Arena, I don't want to rank this harshly at all because, I don't want to just rank the newer stadiums high because they're new and they're fresh. Red Bull Arena was the cool stadium for many years in MLS. When I talk about flavor at a stadium, in the seats, the seat patterns. Oh, well, that doesn't help. Red Bull Arena. I mean, you got the iconic Red Bull logo. Does it give you wings? That's debatable. They did. I know they just changed it. Have the best press section ever, where it was like smack in the middle of the field, which I find very cool. But Levas FC, no. I don't have an LAFC scarf behind me. Anyways, Red Bull Arena was great, but what happened is I was at a brunch, had a little to drink, then went to the tailgate, had a little more to drink, and I was down bad. It was scorching hot, and I had that lemonade, man. That lemonade brought me back to earth, but also ascended me into heaven. So, shout out to Red Bull Arena, and I think it's a good place to put in the Gadi Kinda tier. It's a great stadium. I wish, I think it's crazy because the Red Bulls actually have a great fan base. They just don't always show up. And it was crazy seeing how many fans traveled for MLS Cup because they had quite a few fans, multiple sections, not just on the upstairs, but also on the downstairs. Sorry. But Red Bull Arena, it's a Gadi Kinda. It's a top 15 stadium in MLS easily. Out of the 30, it's on the upper end. But it's on the lower end of the upper end. Speaking of those types of stadiums, Orlando. Now, vibes. I loved, or my visit to Orlando City might be my favorite stadium trip. It was so fun. I was taken back by their supporters. They have a section of supporters that are just kids cursing at the goalkeeper of the other team. It's hilarious. Their fan base is severely underrated. But you'll take Gadi Kinda. Yeah, I mean it's like borderline Lee win, but it's definitely nowhere close to mixed Discarud. But Orlando is also one of those the first stadiums of like the new bunch. Orlando City SC. I mean, I've covered every single season of Orlando's existence, which is crazy, and they were down bad for a very long time. I love the purple seats. When I saw this, as I was getting into MLS, like covering MLS, I was like, man, this is a stadium I got to visit. That being said, food is pretty bad. There's like nothing special about it, at least. I mean, it's your average stadium food. But I really loved my visit to the stadium, which is why I don't want to rank this harshly whatsoever. I don't think it really stands out, but it's not bad either. It's going into the Gotti Kinda tier. I'm going to put it slightly below Red Bull Arena. Or sorry, Sports Illustrated, whatever it's called. But I don't know. Will Eli visit LAFC United? Maybe. Philadelphia. Now, when I tell you that I've received a lot of love at a lot of the stadiums I go to, not counting the Galaxy, because Galaxy, that's an obvious one. The love that I got from the Philly fans when I was there, it was the start of my 3 matches in 24 hours, and it was great. The Union social media accounts even promoted the fact that I was doing it. So everyone was like, yo, that's so cool that you're doing it. I don't know. That was very nice. I got a lot of love from Philly. Also, Galaxy fans and Philly have an alliance, an anti-LAFC alliance. So I love the Philly fans, which is weird because I hate Philly fans in every other sport except for soccer. The view was amazing. I thought the park was pretty. It was very beautiful. That being said, is it like one of the better stadiums? No. I was also fighting for my life to Uber out of that stadium at like 10:30 to catch a bus to New York City. But that view, that river view, and someone said in the chat that they might expand it. Yeah, San Jose's missing because I haven't been there yet, actually. I've never been to the San Jose Stadium. To PayPal Park or whatever it's called. Is Philly, are they getting just shade over the supporter section, which should help with the acoustics and stuff, because the Sons of Ben are on this end, but the river view is awesome. I think it's a very solid stadium. That being said, it's Gotti Kinda. It's not top tier. It's serviceable. I love it. Portland. I was there for the 2021 MLS Cup. What I love about the Portland Timbers Stadium is how unique it is. All the stadiums. Sorry, I just looked up Providence. All the stadiums that I've mentioned so far, that are like top tier, are all very similar. All of these in the Breck Shea and Lee Win tier were around the same time. They were created at the same time, same architecture company. Providence Park. I mean, I don't know how old that thing is, but damn. It used to be a minor league baseball stadium, as you could tell here. It was super cool. And then there's like a gym or like a gentleman's club or something right here in the building to the right. I was somewhere here for MLS Cup. And I will say, Timbers Army in terms of loudness was not up there for me. But what's up, IMCR7? I see you, bro. The Wrigley Field and Fenway Park of soccer. Facts. And if I were doing a tier list on MLB stadiums I visited, I would put Fenway and Wrigley top tier. I would. I don't think this is top tier, though. Also, what I love is how this is just smack in the middle of a city, and you could walk across the street and miss the stadium completely. Some of these stadiums are in isolated areas or like in the middle of a large parking lot. Portland Timbers, smack in the middle of the city. And the front of it doesn't even look like a stadium. It's kind of cool when you're in that corner right here. I love it. I'm going to give the Portland Timbers some love here because I know Timber fans think I hate them. They think I roast them so much, which I don't know where that comes from. I'm Team Portland in the Cascadia Cup when it's Seattle versus Portland. My boy, come on, Miller plays for y'all. It is not one of the Breck Shea tiers. Also, I don't love the turf. Countless injuries happen on that field. It's always at Providence Park. That's where, like, Marco Reus got to rest that match next year. I don't want Marco Reus playing on that turf next year. Where would you guys rank Providence Park? I'm curious. I have not had the chicken tenders. However, all... Yeah, I have been to Red Bull Arena. All the stadiums that are ranked here are ones that I've been to. That's why there's a lot of teams missing. I've been to 20 out of 30. Portland, man. Where do I rank Portland? Lee Win, Gotti Kinda. Yeah, it's definitely not Breck Shea. Lee Win tier. All right. Portland. Whew. I'm going to put it right here. I think that's fair. I'm going to split the new stadiums up, pardon the Red Sea, and let my boys Portland in. Fun fact, that is the last stadium here that's going on the Lee Win tier. Woo! Snapdragon Stadium. San Diego. Y'all don't know about Snapdragon yet. I was there for the NWSL final championship a couple years ago. It's a pretty stadium. It is a decent size, but it's got no flavor. It's got no shade. If the Galaxy play away at San Diego at 1 p.m., there is no way I am attending that. You're just destined to be beaten by the sun. I don't like going to the Coliseum or the Rose Bowl because there's no shade possible. I mean, at night it's great. If anyone from LA has been to a day game at the Coliseum, a USC football game at the Coliseum, you would know what it's like to be at Snapdragon. It is heater. I also didn't explore too much, but the food I got there was pretty okay. But I'm not going to lie. San Diego FC, they're going to be great on the pitch. They're going to be great at producing talent. But based on their badge, their jersey, and their stadium, it's a soulless club to me. It is. I'm sure their fans are going to be awesome. Mixed Discarud. It's not Dom Badgie, but it's not good. Seattle Sounders. The most recent stadium I visited that I hadn't been to before. It's the best of the NFL stadiums. And they just made a lot of upgrades too. That said, I have the same gripes I have with all the other NFL stadiums. It's the lack of a supporter section. That's brutal. Especially for a fan base that's used to be at least one of the best. I don't think Seattle's fans are as crazy as they used to be. That's what I'm saying, Galaxy Fuerte. Also, shout out to you for being there. You're not so low, Cappy. You're in the Lee Win tier. You're in the Lee Win tier. But Seattle for me, and I want to get to the other ones. Y'all know about Seattle, Lumen Field. I hate how they don't really have the upper bowl open. It was a filled stadium for Cascadia Cup. I thought that was awesome. I think the supporters were great how they stood throughout the whole match. You know, not every stadium does that. Only a couple do, which I'll get to very soon. Seattle, for me, is either bottom of Gotti, top of Mixed Discarud. I'm going to go here because it's not a soccer-specific stadium. And if you're not soccer-specific stadium, you could F off. Just kidding. Thank you guys to the people at Lumen. No, I'm sorry, Cappy, but you missed my explanations. But every stadium on this tier is pretty elite. St. Louis, though, of all the stadiums that were built by that same architect, and just in general, if I am being objective, and I will be subjective very soon, if you could look at the remaining clubs left. St. Louis is the best stadium in the league. Hands down. I forgot what it's called. Jesus. Doesn't want me to put it there. St. Louis is the nicest stadium I've been to. The lights, the seats, they have the flavor. The support section was great. The clubs, probably the nicest ones I've been to. I know I said that about Austin. The club areas were phenomenal. The supporter section is awesome. And this was the first stadium that I had gone to. And it was just a random match against Austin, which it was like a 6-2 win. It was crazy. Where the entire stadium stood up all 90 minutes. And I was blown away by that. I had not experienced that at that point. I realize now, even when I was in Germany, I don't even think I was standing up the whole 90 minutes. So it's really awesome. St. Louis, they have great vibes, great food. Oh my God. What y'all know about Balkan food? What y'all know about Balkan food? My God. St. Louis has a nice Bosnian population, I believe. And I had this Balkan restaurant, and I went to the actual restaurant, and then they had it at the stadium. Oh my God. For me, I'm a simple guy. You give me a plate of meat, I'm happy. And my God, St. Louis's food. I forgot what the Balkan place is, but oh my God. Oh, Energizer Park. Oof. I thought it was City Park. Maybe not. Balkan food. Wait, let me. Kevapi. Listen, man. You give me something like this, and I'm a happy camper. And that's what they had. Just stuff that bread with the meat. Pause. But, like, legit, this is, like, my favorite thing on the planet. Call me basic or whatever. It is so damn good. BC Place, I've not been there, so I can't rank it, Jim. Sorry. What are my thoughts on the renovations? Oh, Balkan Treat Box. Thank you, Gummy. And shout out to Gummy. I met him at that stadium. St. Louis, for me, is the best stadium I've been to. I'm making you hungry? I mean, I'm always hungry, man. That's the point, man. Yeah, I'm only ranking stadiums I've been to, which is 20 out of 30, which is why I feel confident enough to make us a tier list. But I've never been to Vancouver. I want to. I would love to. I don't know if that's a possibility for me, though. But I would love to. Speak of Canada, the only stadium in Canada that I have been to. Shout out to my boy Alex Bono for hooking me up with the seats. Toronto FC, BMO Field. We're going to do BMO Stadium next. But BMO Field, it's aight. It's a soccer-specific stadium. It was cool. I was on 1 hour of sleep when I was there, so I didn't really get to take it in. I was tired as hell. It was crazy, though. This was a match where it was Canadian Classique. Toronto went up early, and then Montreal just went and just slapped them. And it was like it went from like 3-0 to 4-3, or it wasn't that crazy, but it was like Montreal was down, and then they won. Crazy match. For me, it's bottom of Gotti Kinda tier. It's cool. They did renovations throughout the years, so I saw it post renovations. I think they might even do more renovations for the 2026 World Cup, because that's going to be like the place of Canada. That's the thing. I don't want to rank the stadiums I haven't been to, because, like I said, based on vibes or whatever, like, who knows? I've never been to them, so it's very hard for me to rank them, you know? I don't have anything to really go off if I rank a stadium I haven't been to. And now, the ones y'all have been waiting for. And I will be honest here. Disclaimer. I'm moving from objective to subjective. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Well, a lot of it. But BMO Stadium is part of the group of stadiums that were built by the same architect in 2018. Sorry, I'm like a little sick, whatever. It's cool, whatever. BMO Stadium, though, and whatever. I'm not going to say, 3252 are amazing, whatever. That's not anything I would say. It's cool that they fill up their supporter section. That's good. I like the bar on top of BMO Stadium supporter section. I've been there For Angel City FC, before you go crazy on me, oh my God, Eli was in the 3-2-5-2 for Angel City FC. Yes, I was in that section. And I've actually been to BMO Stadium maybe 50 times. You know, I used to go to a ton of LAFC games, not because I was rooting for LAFC, but because double the MLS to view in LA. I went as a neutral every time. It was great. However, my biggest gripe with BMO Stadium is the food. The food, first year for LAFC, was amazing. And when I say about getting local heroes, local classics, they have Bloodsoe's Barbecue. They had Bloodsoe's Barbecue at the stadium, a barbecue place somewhat near my area. But they had an amazing brisket sandwich. It was essentially this. It would probably look more like this. A brisket sandwich. Oh my God. That's amazing. Amazing food. Right? But then, and they had meatballs. They used to have meatballs. I love meatballs. But then, over the years, as the stadium got a little older, first of all, the seat quality sucks there. The club is a very nice area. The field seats are very nice. I've been there. The seats in the rest of the stadium, I mean, I could bend them like a piece of paper. If I were obese, man, I'd probably break the seat. They're terrible seats. And what I mentioned with Columbus, and sorry, Kyle, but at least Columbus seats are better. The look of LAFC seats are so bland. There's no flavor in those seats. Just basic gray. No pattern, no nothing. Just basic gray seats. And that is a factor for me here. That's why I have Austin and Minnesota slightly above Columbus, is the flavor of the seats. That's literally all it comes down to for me. LAFC has no flavor. It feels super corporate there with that vibe, but it is a gorgeous stadium. I will say you feel enclosed when you're there. Obviously, you have a great view. The best view at BMO Stadium is the view of downtown from that one corner outside the 3-2-5-2. That's a beautiful view. Arguably the best in MLS. But people hyping this stadium up like it's the best in the league is crazy to me. And because of that, and call me a disrespecter, it is not going Lee Win. It is going top of Gadi Kinda. It's still a good stadium. But for me, that's where it belongs. And then, I don't care what y'all say. And I will defend this take for the rest of my life. Am I biased? Probably. But let me make my case for why Dignity Health Sports Park is the greatest stadium in the world. All right? I've been to many stadiums. Fuerte, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to disagree with your take there on the food at Diggs. And I'll tell you why in just a second. I think you're just getting the wrong food. First of all, it is the oldest, I believe, soccer-specific stadium that's still in use. I think Columbus had Historic Crew Stadium first, but they don't use that for the first team anymore. Doesn't count. The Diggs holds up well, and they're continuing to upgrade it little by little. You know, they're upgrading the seats by the V block. No longer bleachers. They're going to be actual seats, which is great. Sure, a lot of the seats don't have flavor. At least the V block has flavor. With the LA logo, as you can see on my logo there. But when you go to the Diggs, you're walking into a family party. And I absolutely love that. It feels like you're going to a home. You're going home. And that might be the Galaxy fan of me talking there. But tons of people tailgating. More tailgates than I've seen at any other stadium I've been to combined. With people with the asadas, the grills. They're making everything. It's beautiful. Good vibes. But that doesn't count to the stadium. The actual stadium itself, y'all have seen it in FC 25. That it pops in real life just like it does in FC 25. It's gorgeous. Yes, do I think the clubs might be a little outdated compared to some of the newer ones? Yes. But now we got to get to, first of all, the stadium stores. They have stores everywhere, outside, inside. They're great. Also, the player tunnel is amazing. I know a lot of stadiums have that too, but the club by the tunnel is awesome. Forte, this is where we disagree, man. I believe that Galaxy have the best stadium food I have had in any sport across the globe. I believe it. Listen, man, we got the Pit Barbecue. Have you been to my father's barbecue? That's what it's called, I believe. Rank Red Bull higher because of lemonade. You know what? Facts. I'll do that. I'll do that for you. Don't gotta convince me twice. The food. My father's barbecue, you got a beef rib sandwich, which is respect. If you like beef rib sandwiches, that's respect for me. You have now, I mean, they added Benihana last year, which is crazy, having a nice restaurant like that. Benihana, there's buffalo wings. There's empanadas. There's a cookie truck. There is the highest rated food item in world football is the Korean Soul Chicken. It won the Footy Scran Award last year. It's this incredible, like, honey butter chicken fried with waffle fries. Electric, super expensive. You have pupusas. Who doesn't love a good pupusa, man? And then my new favorite, they have yakitori, which are Japanese chicken skewers. Just right there. It is a foodie's dream. It's my dream, and it's my home, which is why The Digs takes my number one spot of MLS stadiums. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream tonight. And I'll see you guys in a few, or I'll see you tomorrow. We'll be doing Road to Division 1, I believe. We're bringing that back. I have newfound confidence. So yeah. Good night, guys. Peace.